Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News, brought to you out on the wonderful surface that is the 1200 metre circuit here at Addington Raceway. We're counting down to IRT New Zealand Trotting Cup Day. Of course, tickets on sale, go to addington.co.nz. Most of the corporates are gone, so check out what you can purchase via the Addington website. We race again this Friday night, very important race night. Avon City Ford, New Brighton Cup night. The New Brighton Club, long time associated with this place, Addington Raceway, when they moved from their old site out at QE2. And this race, well, Avon City Ford have been with it for over 30 years. So it's fantastic to have them supporting this automatic entry race to the IRT New Zealand Cup and a full field to boot, including the star 3-year-old from last year, Republican Party, who was second, of course, in the derby behind Akuta, making his racetrack return. Anything Goes has already performed. Mossdale Ben has already done the business by winning the Allied Security Morris Holmes Vase. So very much looking forward to that one. Also, the other Group 3 on the night is with ITM, who have sponsored the whole night. It is the Ordeal Trotting Cup. Defending champion is Muscle Mountain. We need to see what he can produce this season. This outstanding horse out of the Hope Barn goes to the unruly, but does look very hard to beat, even off the 10 metres. He's trialled up really nicely. First goes at 5:23 on Friday night. Last week, of course, McAndrew Aviator got the business done and is in this week's feature race, the Avon City Ford New Brighton Cup, as he tries to make his way into the reckoning around the New Zealand Cup field. Speaking of Mossdale Ben, he is driven by Ben Hope. He and his mum and dad, Greg and Nina, have a number of chances at Addington this Friday night. Let's hear what he has to say about their chances.
Thanks so much, Ben, for taking the time out of the Rangiora Trials. Gee, you picked a nice day to be out there, though.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the weather's starting to warm up, so it's great.
Couple of big races on Friday night. Let's start with them. Your mate Muscle Mountain's back, and judging by the way he trialled the other day, doesn't look like he's lost any of his ability.
No, absolutely not, Greg. It probably sounds stupid, but I think he might have actually come back a little bit better, to be fair. He's trialled up obviously very well, and his work's been very encouraging. So, looking forward to having him back.
Team Hope have made the decision to put him on the unruly. And, well, speaking to Michael Guerin, who is a self-professed, I was going to say know-it-all in the game, he thinks you made the right decision anyway, but it probably does make sense, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it was a tough decision to make. We feel he can get away, but what happened in the Road Cup, obviously just sort of thought, well, yeah, we just thought maybe the unruly might be the place to go. I know he can begin, but I just feel on the unruly, we're a very good chance of beginning, being that we get the walk in. So, it was a tough decision to make, but, I feel like if he's at his best, he'll still be competitive off there.
Oh, look, there's no question about that at all. And is it a decision that's definitive that he stays there for this campaign, or I suppose you just let it unfold and see what happens, I guess?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's probably see it unfold, but I'd say for the entire Dominion campaign anyway, he'll be on the unruly.
Yeah, again, that makes sense. So I can't wait to have him back on track. Dash is there again, and we know what we get from Dash each and every time.
Absolutely. No, he was probably, maybe on the outset a tad disappointing last start, but I think he just needed the run. He blew up over his back. We ended up just taking him to the trials a week after, and he trialled really well. So, he'll go a great race, I reckon.
Ben, you also have the now Cup qualifier, Mossdale Ben. Congratulations on that too, mate. I know it's going to be special for you, the build-up towards the IRT New Zealand Cup. The 120th running will be your first drive in the great race, mate, and I know that'll mean a lot.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. It's a pinnacle for any Canterbury kid growing up. So, to get a drive in there and to be driving it for the appearances, it's going to be a special occasion.
Yep, absolutely, it will be. What about for this week? You've got a second row draw to deal with, and he's in a full field, although there's been one scratching. So, race track position is going to be crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's a great beginner, so obviously being on the second row negates that. But in saying that, if the one in front of him steps well, we might get a good run through. So while it looks like a tricky draw, it could end up being not too bad. So, it's obviously, a couple of extra ones in it, like the likes of BD Joe and Republican Party. But I still think he'll play his part.
Yeah, definitely he will. As will Homebush Lad, the Country Cup's king, who trialled recently and beat BD Josie. Looks like he's come back pretty good too.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's probably going to be, you know, a little bit outclassed there. But in saying that, he deserves his chance. I think the owner, you know, if he's lucky enough to make it in the field, you know, they'll obviously be wrecked. But he's more, you know, looking to race like the Methven Cup. So he needs a few races under his belt. And, yeah, I'd say probably, just watch him at this stage. But I think when he gets to the Methven Cup, he'll be one to keep an eye on, put it that way.
Plenty of other chances for your mum and dad on Friday night. Crazy in Love and Bologna in the early stages of the program, both racing really well.
Absolutely, yeah, no, both racing really well. You know, been wrapped with Crazy in Love. She's obviously had a long layoff, had a foal, and she hadn't raced for about 2.5 years or something. So she's gone a couple of cracking races. Bologna is a filly that's done a great job in a short time. Probably surprised us a bit, but at the same time, you know, she's got a bit of breeding there, so that's obviously come to the fore. It's a tough field for her, so I'd probably think she's probably just a watch this week. I think there's probably just a couple that might have that ring craft and be a bit sharp for her, I'd say.
All right, of the others, Mossdale Margaret, no luck on debut. McCrikey and Mossdale Terry, the stable having the last, and race 8, Jack Tar. What would be the best of those in your opinion?
Well, I think it probably sounds a bit stupid because she's a maiden against the nice fillies, but Mossdale Margaret's a filly we've got a lot of time for, and she worked pretty good today. I'm not saying she'll win because it'll be pretty much impossible with a couple of those really good fillies there, being she hasn't got much ring craft, but I wouldn't be surprised if you know, she sneaks a place or top 4. She does go pretty nice.
Yep, she's got plenty of breeding about her, and certainly one to follow for anyone tuned into this. I'm going to let you get out of the stairwell. Appreciate your time. Good luck at the trials today, and again on Friday night. Thanks, Ben, for coming on Addington News.
No worries at all, Greg. Good to be here.
So a big thank you to Ben Hope, sitting in the stairwell there at the Rangiora Trials. There'll be a couple of winners to come out of that trials program from there today, but we appreciate him taking his time to have a chat to us. They've got a big hope, I'm sure, particularly with Muscle Mountain. That's Addington News for another week. See you in 7 days.